Hi Scorpio, this is your forecast for the month of November 2017. But before I start, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for your support, your kind comments, when you reach out and tell me a little bit about your story in relation to the reading. That's very encouraging for me. So thank you for all that love and support you've given. All right. This is a general reading for Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Rising, or Scorpio Moon. It might also be helpful to watch your rising and moon sign. You can join me on Facebook and Instagram for daily insights on tarot and astrology, as well as my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/thealchemistastrologer, where you can find on-demand pages for love, finance, and other readings. So, Scorpio, this first week, it seems that you are navigating perhaps some troubled waters. You're trying to get past a situation. Now, some of you, you're actually traveling or you're dealing with people at a distance. But for most of you, you're getting past a negative situation. Maybe you're recovering from something, or there's just been a difficult period for you, and some of that tension is going away. You're moving away from your problems, your stress, and you're going with the flow of a situation. Maybe you've changed your attitude about something, and there's a sense that for you, the worst is over. You're leaving a negative, abusive situation, maybe even taking a trip, relocating. You're just putting something behind you. And, you're coming out of this period of suffering. Now, maybe on a personal level or in your career, or maybe you're dealing with something legal or medical. There's an issue in some aspect of your life where you haven't been making very much headway. You feel as if you're, on this spinning wheel going absolutely nowhere. And so you want to get past this. You've got bigger, better things in mind. And whatever this is, it's requiring a lot of patience on your part. These are difficult issues that take time to resolve, to work through. You're trying to get some insight on your situation, on yourself, and your connection with other people. For some of you, that may mean revisiting the past. Actually a place, or perhaps just in a metaphorical sense. Whatever this is, it's changing you, and it's changing you for the better. Something that you wanted to achieve is within your grasp, although the storyline is not the one you wrote, and it's not happening in the time frame that you wrote it. So for some of you, it's going to be very easy for you to get past a negative situation and remove yourself from something that is absolutely pointless, or to break some negative habits that have been keeping you from making your personal goals. And you're going to get away from things that keep you from doing what you really want to do. And in the process, maybe somebody that you really care about unexpectedly reappears in your life. Now, in the negative, this can be about people who are not reaching their destination because they're procrastinating. Maybe somebody's lazy, or they're not putting forth the effort that needs to be put in. So for some of you, there's still rough waters ahead, or something that you want is delayed. Maybe you're stuck in a negative way of thinking, or you feel trapped. You're unable to leave a troubling situation. Or maybe, you're leaving it, but you're not really dealing with the core issues. You're taking the easy way out. Or maybe there's a change in plan, or perhaps you get some relief, but it's just not long lasting. Whatever it is, It could be that you are being tested in some way, what you're made of, what your, the strength of your metal. It could be that somebody or a situation is going to let you down. You're going to feel disappointed because there's a history of disappointment with whatever this connection or circumstance is. It could be that a person or a situation, a medical issue, a legal issue, whatever it is, you thought it was over and done with, resolved, and here it is again, in your face. And for some of you, you recognize that you've been influenced by the wrong people, that the wrong connections have caused you to have to get back to square one. You are limited because of your connection. So this week, you need to be looking at how to get past negative situations, where you're spending your time. Are you wasting too much of it? Are you putting too much energy, emotion, effort into situations because you strongly believe in it, and yet it's wrong for you and it's causing you to start over, to repeat some mistakes all over again. So this is a week that connects to your strength. Again, that strength of character, how powerful you are in making your decisions and navigating difficult circumstances. It may rest on your sense of self-esteem, or whether you are up for the challenge of taking some kind of action, or recognizing that something is not balanced. There's a lack of stability that needs to be addressed. Now, the second week, if you were trying to get to that destination, it looks like at this point, you made it, you're walking away from something. There's the decline of some kind of situation. Now, maybe this is revolving around abandonment in some way. But you're getting very tired of something and you're ready to move on. And this could be a week of a turning point. You are not pleased about the past. You're disappointed. You want to break some ties that haven't served you. You're turning your back on a difficult situation and rejecting a way of life that you had previously. So you may be going off into new waters. You're directing your energy to new interests. For those of you who were traveling, you probably left home, or you relocated, or you made a change of some sort where you left one negative situation. Now maybe you're moving on to something else, a job change, another relationship, something that is different. And this is going to be a week where, again, looking at self, getting a personal reality check is going to clear some things for you. It's going to allow you to have a clarity of purpose, because this is a week where if you were tied up with other people and they were keeping you from doing what you wanted, this is the week where you strongly feel you want to make your own decisions. You want to determine your own path. And so if you've had any conflicting emotions that have been holding you back and keeping you from being who you are, your authentic self, you're going to break those this week. For some of you, maybe you're trying to create some beneficial changes through reconciling with others, coming to greater understanding. And this is going to be a week for those of you who are interested in that, where it may be easier than you had even expected to save a situation or take charge of it, or if you want to, walk away from it. Circumstances, habits, people, whatever that's not good for you. So there may be, because of that, you may be feeling better about yourself. You may have a sense of happiness, enjoyment, and it may come through you taking a risk or putting something out there. But for others of you, there is a refusal to move on. You're still having a difficult time ending something. Maybe this is because you've made the wrong decisions, or, in the past, maybe you had trouble making a commitment or somebody connected to you. There is a failure to grow in some way and release some outmoded ways of being and thinking. Some of you may be chasing rainbows. You're pursuing a false idea, or you're abandoning a valuable relationship. Maybe you fear intimacy in some way. You're afraid to be close. You're afraid to accept responsibility. Maybe you make a change and you later regret it. Whatever it is, for those of you who are in that frame of mind, you still have a lot of work ahead of you. You don't even know what you want. You don't even know who you are or what you're about. And you should be on the path of self-discovery in order to make some changes. Now, some of you realize how you've participated in a negative situation, and maybe you are beating yourself up. You're giving yourself a hard time. It could be that you are finally dealing with the truth of a situation, and accepting that is proving to be very challenging for you. So you may be withdrawing from others. You may be isolating yourself because you need to tread lightly. Something is not what you thought it was, and you're learning about yourself and perhaps some shortcomings in the process. Now, the third week, you have a new beginning, this Ace of Pentacles. And so there's some new arena for you, emotionally or financially, something that provides you security. This could be a week where you're really working hard on something. Maybe you get some assistance in some way. Maybe you get some assistance to get past this negative situation. It could be that this is a week that focuses very strongly on creating some kind of firm financial foundation that you can depend on. You want a new beginning that you can see, that you can feel, something that's tangible. And this may center around your comfort or material achievement or something physical like health. So this is about starting something, maybe some new venture where you're going to get some capital, or there's a new increase for you as far as career, your status, or your monetary situation. Or maybe you're offering that or you're getting that from other people. But this is a week where an opportunity or a dilemma of some sort could literally fall in your lap, and it could prove to be a blessing in disguise for you. Whatever it is, you've been on this process of gaining self-awareness, and this is going to be a week of spiritual enrichment for you on some level. Now, this may come through meeting new people, and it could be, through financial dealings of some sort. If you're involved with somebody, perhaps you have a new relationship that started, or you made some beneficial changes and now that's becoming more solid. This relationship is stepping it up. Maybe you're going to make some plans for something, plans to have a child or buy a home or buy a car, or maybe you take that vacation. Whatever it is, you're planting some seeds for your material desires. Now, for some of you, though, this is about, a failure to carry through on a promised action. It's about dealing with emotionally insecure people, whether that's you or another person. It's about looking at your financial foundation and noticing the cracks, the flaws. For some of you, there's some help that's withdrawn, or there's some delayed income, or you didn't get the money you thought you deserved, or there's some kind of loss. For some of you, your plans fall through and you're disappointed about that. And issues could center around, again, making poor decisions, making rash choices, putting all of your eggs in one basket, being greedy or overindulgent in some way. So for those of you, it could be that you're having to look at your personal spending habits now, or maybe your professional obligations have gotten out of hand, and that has played a role in your relationship. It's complicating your emotional connections. It's tearing down your relationships, and it's preventing even, new relationships from starting. So on the one hand, it could be, some windfall for you this week where you feel a sense of playfulness. You feel more enjoyment because you've moved past some toxic situations. For others of you, you're going into seclusion to sort some things out. There's a time out. And for others of you, you need to understand that you may need to create more time for yourself. The better chances you have to obtain or retain something this week that is going to provide for your material and emotional security, the more satisfied you're going to feel. Now, the last week you have this 10 of Cups. So at number 10, you're closing out some type of emotional cycle that ties to perhaps your family, your loved ones, your group of friends. And so this is a week that can, in the best of situations, be a week of fulfillment, of joy, of peace, especially if you've gotten some assistance or that windfall, some blessing that came out of the blue for you. There's a sense of shared well-being. Perhaps some of you have been working on your relationship with your child. So this could be a week where things improve. You have a good parent-child relationship. Or maybe you're getting some assistance with that. There have been some issues. Because for some of you, maybe you were dealing with a troublemaker in the home, or a child that has left home or run away from home, or a rebellious child, or maybe, you've been a lonely parent because the nest has emptied, or maybe somebody's not sharing emotionally in relationships. So in the positive, this is a week of emotional completion where you feel some sense of serenity, spiritual happiness. Maybe there was a goal you wanted to reach and that happens for you. This is a week where you feel strongly about situations based on past memories. There's a longing to connect and be with others. And because of that, you're willing to give in. You're willing to compromise because it's not just about you. There's something bigger at stake. So for some of you, you're going to step forward. You're going to try to do some healing. Where there has been some violation or some sense of betrayal, you're going to try to work through that issue. And so this could be some good news this week, or spending some good quality time with the people that you care about. But for others of you who are continuing to have some problems, last week presented another spiritual dilemma. You seem stuck in a situation where almost hopeless. You can't make things work. Things are stalling. You're not making progress. There could be issues of incompatibility or conflict or family disagreements or just some unsettled issues connected to the family, the routine, the demands of your children, delinquent behavior, all manner of issues that feel complicated, complex, or hopeless. Specifically tied to a sense of loss or being emotionally drained or disharmony between people. You feel that the people that should be in your corner supporting you are actually dismantling the foundation of your relationships. They are pitting themselves against you in some way. And what you thought was a mutual goal, a mutual objective. Some of you, this is going to mean some kind of breakthrough. You're going to, if you're working through things to heal, you're going to get some insights, some inspiration. Maybe it takes off. For others of you, there's some unexpected news or perhaps an unexpected visitor in your midst. Whatever it is, you may be in for some kind of rude awakening this week. And it could be driven by an incessant need to be needed that puts a form of temptation in front of you and you bite it and it proves to be your undoing in some way. So this is a week for some of you to be careful of impulsive decisions. Now, the underlying energy is this Knight of Swords. This is air energy. This could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or just the traits of this Knight. This is a knight who is acting in your interests, or he's pulling you into some kind of conflict. And whoever he is, he's a staunch ally or he is a fierce opponent. He believes what he believes. He will not accept no for an answer. So he is relentless in his demands. He is the champion, the leader who gets what he wants. Now, for some of you, this is somebody who is acting in some kind of professional capacity, an advisor, a lawyer, law enforcement, somebody with technical expertise, somebody who works in an intellectual occupation. Or if you've been having issues with your children, this is perhaps a young man in the family who is very clever, perhaps somewhat cunning. This could be a young person who is self-absorbed, who is insensitive to the feelings of other people. And he may draw you into a conflict. Now, on the flip side, this could be somebody who's bright and successful. But there is a tendency to the ruthless and selfish pursuit of goals. Whoever this is, they are fanatical in their quest. Now, for some of you, this is about protection during difficult times, especially if somebody's trying to build a bridge between others. Maybe you're involved in mediation. Maybe you're involved in situations that require communication or being persuasive. There are definitely some mental challenges this week and some unexpected situations. This month, a lot going on, a lot of coming and going. And for some of you, this is travel. You are going somewhere and you're coming in contact with new people, new experiences. There's a lot of mental stimulation, a lot of new ideas, and perhaps a feeling of restlessness. For others of you, this is about conflict and being aggressive and maybe having to come up with some quick solutions. This is somebody who takes pleasure in proving other people wrong. They want to use their knowledge, their intellect in order to decimate other people. And they can be, working against you. They want freedom for themselves, but not necessarily for you. Maybe you're working towards something, some dream that you have, some vision, some reality that you want to create. But for others of you, this night is there to help you sort out the truth from fantasy. This could be a month for some of you where there's some trouble. Maybe you're having to make a quick exit, get away from a situation, walk away. It could be a month where people are impatient or pushy, or there are quarrels or a lack of focus. Maybe you're getting some advice or some help that's unsolicited and you just turn your back on that. You don't want any assistance. For some of you, this is about violence and bullying and being selfish in some way. So this is going to be a month where there's an interest in or access to some kind of research or analytical works or planning agencies. Again, law enforcement and communication is going to be key. Now, this is going to be a month of challenging and emotional developments. And it's going to deal with the future, your destiny, and the people that are tied to your destiny. And it's going to be centered around trying to achieve something, trying to gain some success or some recognition in some area of your life, and how you go about to make that happen. Now, you don't have any major cards, which says that for the most part, you are pulling the strings. However, there is a lack of motivation connected to your circumstances. There's a lack of desire, of apathy. And there's a dilemma that's being faced. Now, this could be the need to make some important decision and having difficulty doing so. There's some hesitation because of uncertainty or lack of information or feeling conflicted. Some of you are at odds with other people, or you're trying to mediate between two parties. And this is connected to your partnerships, whether you feel strongly attached or you're becoming very irritated, anxious, and suspicious about other people. It's likely that your benefits, are going to show up through other people. Some kind of favor will be granted. Some assistance you will receive, perhaps through travel or someone at a distance. And for you, it's also important to pay attention to the details this month. Something about timing is critical. There's some need for you to act on something, and possibly within a particular time frame. Now, you may be involved in a situation where there are warring parties, and you're going to need to cope by being adaptable, by being flexible. And you may surprise yourself just how flexible you can be. Someone may be overly emotional, but fortunately, there's some reason and some logic that's going to redress this imbalance. Somebody may be pushing those closest to them away. And somebody may be hiding behind their work. And others of you may be making choices about putting money before your emotional connections. All right, Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And of course, you can always book a personal reading at thealchemistastrologer.com.